Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Lunatic Astrology. I am your astrologer, Lori Lothian, and today we're going to talk about this 22-degree Aries moon that's coming up right around the bend on the 11th of the month of April. Why I like it? I think it's going to point to some interesting achievement, success corner of your chart, depending on your sun sign, moon sign, and ascendant. So stay tuned for the all signs portion, where I'll drill down into that Jupiter-Mars connection that's happening just after that moon, which is a trine, but also involving this moon already, as this moon will be sextiling Mars. Mars in the sky in a very fortunate piece of sky connected to one of the lucky stars in the belt of Orion named Elnath. So that's the three stars of Orion's belt. There is a lucky star called Elnath, and Mars is sitting with that star on this moon. This moon is sextiling Mars. So we're having like a harmonious flow between the new moon, where the sun and moon sit together in the sky at 22 Aries, and Mars, and then Mars is having a harmonious flow with Jupiter, the god of luck and opportunity. So you get a lot of juice there. Now, before I go on and talk about not only the big picture, which I'll spend about maybe 5 minutes on, and then go into the all signs portion of the reading, timestamps below, and in the comments box, please consider checking out what I'm giving away down below. I'm giving away 2021 all signs videos. Each is 60 minutes. They were for sale, but now we're getting so far in the year, I'm just going to give them away. And when you go to the checkout, there's also a little possible upsell if you want to learn how to use perfections. And that's a really lovely technique that explains to you which age you're in. There are 12 different perfection cycles, 12 houses, 12 cycles, and you'll learn how to do your own perfection chart, and you'll learn so much about your own rhythm and your own life. And it's two 1-hour teaching videos, or one 90-minute, a PDF download describing how you can do all of this as well. So anyway, just check it out. It's at the upsell, I think it's $7 or $9, which is so cheap. If you want to grab it at checkout, it's totally optional. I'm just heading into my 12th house perfection age, and like I just had my birthday. I turned 59, guys. Yeah, I know. And I just turned 59. And I was in my 11th house perfection age last year, which is a fantastic age for, hopes, dreams, and wishes, and great gains from your career, which I had many. And, it's an auspicious energy. And I really enjoyed last year, although I worked way too hard, I will say that. However, the 12th house is like very hermity and solitude oriented. And I'm going to tell you, I just want to crawl off in a woodsy cabin somewhere and write this novel that I'm just stating. The other thing I'm up to is I'm creating the Athenium Astrology. It's an academy for the divinatory arts. You can learn psychic perception, tarot, and astrology, so that I'm teaching you to fish instead of coming to me for the fish or anyone else. So I'll have guest teachers as well. I'll probably be launching that sometime in May or June, but stay tuned. I will announce all of that here. And I think I'm going to use a membership fee. So instead of buying paywall material a la carte, you can just become a member and get lots of content for a very low price. Stay tuned. So moving on. Let's talk about the sky. Let me show you the sky, okay? Instead of me, let me show you what the sky is looking like. Now, I took out a lot of asteroids, a lot of planets here to simplify what you don't need to see, right? What's not important to get the sort of gist of what's happening up here in the sky. So here you have this simple sky with a lot of missing ingredients, admittedly. But what you can see in this simple sky are some of the very basic things in the need to know basis. Number one, there is your moon, right? Now, really, it's 22 degrees. I just cast it. Let me see. I wasn't like looking for the exact time. So let's move it forward to the exactamente time that we can actually perfect that just for fun. Why not? I think an hour will be too far over. Let's move it by minutes. Anyway, the idea here is the moon and the sun are together at 22 degrees of the sign of Aries. 22 degrees, 23 minutes there. So there we go. See? And eventually it'll be perfect around 22, 23 minutes. Okay. Now, this combination here is not sitting in any particularly interesting real estate in the sky. No major asteroids are joining the sun and the moon, nor any stars of any great magnitude that I thought was worthy of, in talking about today. However, you can see Venus is still invisible in the sky. That's because she's so close to the sun, and she's coming into her evening star mode. She's coming into her Hesperus or evening star mode, and she will be visible in the sky, just so you know, around the third week or of April, or late April or early May. I think it really will depend on your latitude. But the idea is that as she rebirths herself, she'll be rebirthing in her home sign of Taurus, which is very auspicious and very sweet. And she is coming into her own home territory, and wherever that falls in your chart, good things will happen then. So I will talk about that in a separate video. But Venus is sort of lightly participating with this new moon for sure. So she's a benefic goddess, right? She brings luck and money. Anyone? Opportunities around finances could happen here for you, and love as well. And you can see that this combination of the sun and the moon, called a new moon, is in a harmonious sextile. That's a sextile. That sextile represents it's the nature of Venus herself: flow, harmony, ease, opportunity, luck, generosity, kindness, fairness. It's just it's a sweet, sweet energy. And it's even got a bit of a sexy, flirtatious quality to it, according to one astrologer who I like, and I think that might be true. And this is sizzle is going here from the moon and the sun to Mars, and Venus herself is also sextiling Mars during this time. And it's not precise; it's waning. It was exact a few days beforehand, but there's still a harmonious relationship between the cosmic lovers, Mars and Venus, at the time of the moon. And since Venus is participating with this new moon 4 degrees away, I'd say this can be a lunar event, a cycle in the 28 days that follow this new moon that could incite a romantic engagement of some sort. It could come to a nice fruition in the full moon 6 months from now, the full moon in Aries. So keep your eye on that ball. And I can also say that, hey, what about that opposition between Mars and Juno? She's the domestic goddess, wife of Zeus. So, home, domesticity, reliability, what do you want to call it? Like loyalty, fidelity, monogamy, maybe. And there's an opposition to Mars, feisty Mars up there in the words, a word warrior. There could be domestic squabbles or arguments with partners, especially loved ones, like marriage partners, but maybe even business partners. So be careful for that opposition. Yet the moon is trying to resolve that tension. This is a wedge, and the tension between these two babies, Mars and Juno, is trying to be resolved here. Okay? Kind of reminds me of Lancelot, and then there's Guinevere, and there's her husband Jupiter, who's King Arthur, right? So Guinevere and King Arthur are having a nice, sweet conversation. It's like the king and queen are getting along of Mount Olympus. They're having a harmonious, flowing vibration between them. And then there's this troublemaker over here, some like rogue element. And Mars is out of bounds in the sky, meaning that he's also acting a little bit like rogue-like and rebellious, extra off track. Things like derailing trains in Taiwan. I mean, that's Mars out of bounds. I hate to say it, things like shootings, derailed trains, bombs exploding. I don't think Mars is in bounds for another month. So we got a bit of a rogue Mars, and he's stirring up trouble between this sweet couple here, King Arthur and Guinevere's queen, or king of Mount Olympus. Think of any royal couple vibration within your own life. It doesn't have to be for real in the outer world. Although who knows, there could be some upset between a real family of great note. It doesn't have to be a royal couple. A famous couple would do. You know what I'm saying? Like back when Hillary and Bill were together, Sonny and Cher, Brad and Angelina. Those are kind of like royal couples for their fame quality, for their well-known status. So a well-known couple is kind of harmoniously jiving, and then there's this like troublemaker energy coming here towards the female energy, Juno, from some rogue Mars energy. We shall see what that looks like. We shall see what that looks like. I don't know. Maybe Melania Trump will announce she's divorcing Donald. That would be interesting. All right. So Mars representing, I don't know, her lover or her lawyer. Who knows? Okay. So as I look at this as well, I want to point one more thing out before I go to the all signs. There's another energy here, another wedge happening in the sky, and that is that you can see there's this wedge, which we talked about, and that's very active with this moon, correspondingly lucky star Elnath, upon which has to do with fortunes and good luck, and don't scatter your fortunes. And in fact, I think I'll bring that definitely this wedge energy a little bit into the all signs and talk about those fortunes, because this moon cooperates with Mars. You can see that it's moving into greater cooperation with Mars. As the moon comes to the sun and it goes beyond, it's going to next have a chit chat with Mars. It's going to translate that energy to Mars. And Mars, in the meantime, billiard ball game, is getting ready to have a conversation with Jupiter that perfects, I think, around, okay, let's just find out when. Do I want to just progress this chart? No, I really don't want to. Let's say that it will perfect around the 23rd or so of April, perhaps. I used to know the exact date, but the idea is that this is already engaged. Mars is already having a conversation with Jupiter. It's only going to get stronger and stronger and better and better. So after this new moon, I should say. So we can see that this is all very fascinating and lovely. Last little point, you can see a secondary but much less potent wedge. Lighter lines mean less actual perfection of the degree. That does involve that conversation between Mars and Jupiter. A trine means Mars Jupiter trine is like achievement, success, getting something through determination, through ambition, through drive, through action that you really want. Opportunity, success, wherever the Jupiter piece is. But you can also see then Jupiter correspondingly having that great chat with his wife. I still think that oh, I already talked about that wedge. Sorry, I'm wedge delirium. So we got that tension there. I'm so sorry. But there's this little wedge here too. So Mars and Juno are having that discourse of disagreement. And then there's this kind of hopefully resolution energy. Thank you. Venus, goddess of harmony and equality and love and peace. And then sun and moon all trying to resolve this tension as well. So there's a way to resolve a tension in this moon between you and another, in a way that could be supremely harmonious. So if you've been arguing, debating, having something out of sorts in a relationship, friendship, or anything in your life, possibly the tensions will de-escalate. Thank you to this de-escalating wedge-like formation on the new moon. All right, so let's go ahead and do the all signs. And let me say one more thing, guys. Did I tell you this yet? I don't think so. Going into my 12th house profection age after my 11th. Maybe I already told you because I had to redo this video because the microphone wasn't on. So, and I'm going to be kind of laying a lot lower lately than I have been, maybe doing less videos. I really feel this really strong call to go inward and write fiction again. And I love you guys and I love you too, but it's a lot of effort. Content creation is a lot of effort and I'm not sure why I do it, right? I love that you're commenting. I love that you're here. But my main client business astrologically is 90% referral. And maybe if I'm lucky, maybe 10% people find me here on YouTube. So I will continue to be here, but you may not see the same frequency that I've been doing on my channel. But I do hope you'll stay and follow me and continue to participate in the things that I find interesting, not only astrology. I'll be interviewing more different kinds of practitioners of different disciplines. When I find them interesting. So yeah, stay tuned. And I hope you guys understand 12th house profection age, the hermit year. Oh yeah, here I go. I'm going to dive into a hermit stage for another 12 months. Nothing like 59 years old and finding your inner hermit is begging to write a fiction novel. All right, so let's talk about everything. Let's go to all signs. I'm just going to start with Scorpio because that's where the moon is, where I live in Montreal. It's always effective to go and cast a chart for where you live and find out what the rising sign is. So it's Scorpionic rising sign here in Montreal, and Scorpio is my 10th house of career, where Neptune sits. Neptune is the same placement as J.K. Rowling, Neptune in the 10th house, author of the Harry Potter series. Honestly, I want to write fantastical fiction, and I think it's about time. And Mars in my second house is trining that fantastical Neptune in my chart. So it's a nice, sweet combination. All right, so first of all, Scorpio, and I have to hold a mic, guys. I'm in my bedroom. You might wonder where I am, right? I'm in my bedroom today. And the reason I'm here, and I'm wondering what you can see, hopefully not my nude picture back there. Anyway, you're in my bedroom. My daughter's visiting, and I'm trying to give her space in the other room. And here we go. So visiting and staying with me for a bit. Yeah, you're in my bedroom with me. I'm on my bed. It's very bouncy. You're on a tray table. All right. Let's start off with Scorpio rising. So Scorpio rising, sun, moon, and especially ascendant. This is going to be the experience of a fresh start, a new beginning in the house of your work. In some way, your work environment, maybe your boss, your office, your colleagues, your co-mates, your routines, your structures around your work, and also your health routines and protocols is about to have a reboot. And you've got Venus helping along there, even though she's in debilitation and tomboy status. She's still sweetly trying to support some kind of change. So a female colleague or work person for some of you, or client maybe even, could be a strong influence in how this new beginning takes place. Maybe the initiator or purveyor or broker of some new direction in the work environment or the health protocols. And that includes exercise and food style and ways to avoid being sick, basically. And you can see here that we have this dynamic energy of the lucky Elnath star-studded Mars up there. He's close to a couple stars, guys, Capella, but Elnath is the one I want to talk about because it is about luck and fortunes. And so with this energy of luck and fortunes and Mars, action and decisions and momentum, I think that what I'd say for you guys is look at the idea of your savings or your leveraging your money. Like this could be a bank loan up there in the 8th house. This could be paying off credit card debt. This could be a tax refund. This could be an inheritance coming through. But there's some kind of financial relief here, lucky financial break energy going on over the next 30 days or so from this moon, or 28 days from this new moon. And you can see, and it may not come to its full fruition for 6 months until the fall, right? But that's okay until Libra season when there's a full moon in Aries. But the idea is something is germinating now that's going to change your work situation, but also good money, financial stuff. And where Jupiter sits, bringing the achievement success zone for you guys, is in the 4th house of real estate. Some of you Scorpios may buy a house, rent a bigger place, sell your place, move to an auspicious new location, have some financial break around money and real estate. Of course, the bank loans and mortgages are the 8th house, and this is the real estate house. And with Jupiter in your real estate part of the chart for most of 2021, minus May, June, and July, basically, mid-May to end of July. But the rest of the year, Jupiter in that 4th house, a lot of you Scorpio people are thinking of changing your home, expanding your home. Good things are happening in your home. Your home is a source of goodness. And this moon seems to propel some financial goodness coming to you. Thank you, Jupiter. Thank you, Mars, during this month regarding home and money. All right, I think that's all I want to say. If there's any domestic discord going on with a beloved, that tension here, it gets resolved. Thank you to this new moon, bringing a relief or tension outlet valve in a wedge for this dynamic discord here. Moving to the next sign, which I need to progress the chart. So be patient, please. Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant, you're going to experience this energy of a new beginning and a fresh start, a portal to something ambitiously Aries, something excitingly new. Because you Sagittarius are Sun, Sun and Ascendant and Moon Sag. You all know your fire. You feel good with fire. This moon trines your fire. Come on, baby, trine my fire. It's just a good moon for you guys, And so you feel good with this fire moon, and you're excited because something new is regenerating in the house of luck, 5th house of children, 5th house of romance, romantic love, 5th house of your hopes, your muse-driven inspirations and vitality and play and fun and sex and pleasure. And did I say luck? Especially money luck. So speculative luck, buying a lottery ticket, placing a bet, hitting the casino. So a lot of you guys are having a really sweet break here in a very fortunate spot. So a lot of you Sagittariuses right now get to kind of ride a coaster ride, a very auspicious wave over the next 28 days from the moon, and look to, Libra time when there's a full moon in the fall, where you might experience in that sort of September, October timeframe, a real fruiting of some of the goodness that's even planted now. So it may not all just spill it all at once, right? A source of luck, but also money luck, really, with Venus, the goddess of money, in a money luck house. So some money luck too for you guys, a lucky break, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. You can see that this lucky Elnath star sitting with Mars is in the house of marriage, or business partnerships or clients if you have them, the seventh house of other. And there is discord with the goddess of marriage here. And this may have been really tense for you for a while, just to say, maybe you've had domestic discord with your beloved that you live with. There's an attempt in this moon to resolve that tension here. You see what I mean? With a sweet new beginning. So maybe you could kiss and make up if that's been a problem, that there's been discord or tension with a beloved or even a business partner. Now, the Jupiter trining Saturn, which happens, really in this particular way once every 2 years, is a trine that is going to bring you some opportunity for success and accomplishment in the third house. That can be about your siblings, short trips or travel, education, learning something, a skills-based learning, like an educational seminar. If you're into marketing, selling, merchandising, or the online world, that's a very auspicious placement, a breakthrough in that zone, with Jupiter bringing you accomplishment, success, luck, and opportunity there, and Mars on that lucky star saying, well, yes, you're going to have a lucky break, but you'll work for it. You'll take action for it. You'll make executive decisions to make it happen. It doesn't happen out of the blue. Some of that could become through a new business partnership or collaboration, because Juno is sextiling Jupiter as well. Anything else I want to say about the third house? Sometimes aunts and uncles and cousins can be there. I mean, and your local neighborhood, good things happening in your local environs, as well. You may get a teacher coming to you. Jupiter can outpicture picture as a teacher, guide, instructor, especially instructor in the third house. What instruction will you be taking in 2021? Because Jupiter is there most of the year. And this may be the advent or the introduction of a teacher to you that you wish to partner with, learn from, etc. Okay, hopefully that makes some sense in the month ahead. So Capricorn, sun, moon, and ascendant. Let me just adjust myself on my bed. Okay, I hold this mic because I don't have a table for it, and it's moving all over the place. So, alrighty, guys, this is going to be a new beginning in your fourth house. And what I think about your fourth house in this regard is that it's about your roots, your anchor, your mother, your family of origin, and your home. Sometimes land and real estate. Some of you Capricorn, sun, moon, and or ascendants especially are going to find some changes happening regarding the home front. And a new beginning, some of the new beginnings may be seeds that are planted now that come to fruition later on in the Libra season in September, October at the full moon in Aries. But at this point, you're planting some seeds for some significant change around the home environment. If you have been thinking, for instance, of building, extending, renovating, those are all possibilities with this new beginning, especially with Venus. She is like, home design 101, very pioneering though here, but she may want to put her artistic stamp on something in your home, and you may renovate or move things around in some way. I also would say that, with lucky Mars chiming in from the house of health protocols and work protocols in, like daily routine, the way we do the work we do, maybe this is the home office story. Maybe you're going to develop a home office environment that really satisfies you, or there's the desire to create a home office if you don't have one, or home studio or home, whatever you do. You can see that there's that tension with Juno, right? There's this disagreement, but that's really undercover. Like Juno in the 12th could be tension or secret hidden enemies, right? Who are lingering in the back end. But it would be like Juno could be like, I don't know, a partner that you shouldn't trust, whether it's love or business, maybe undoing you. And then Mars outing her, somebody, this is a work environment. So if someone's trying to like trip you up in the work environment, especially the workplace, this could come to a head and be revealed to you, especially with the wedge, but in a positive way where you triumph. Yay, Aries, champion, warrior, hero, at the end of the day. Now that's quite the story I just made up, but you got to take the sky, guys, and you got to make stories out of it. And that's the thing about astrology. I always say, may the sky tell you a true story. So I'm just making up a story, but all astrology is a bunch of stories. You make up stories from the sky, and the sky stories hopefully reflect your real life. Alrighty, what else? So where the success and accomplishment happens is in the money zone of the chart down here in Jupiter's storyline. You could definitely get some financial breakthroughs here, especially on earnings or possessions, or the way your wealth comes to you through your paycheck. This is your self-worth and self-possession as well, and the voice you have to share with the world, as in voice and vocation come from the same word. Where is that all going to find some success, accomplishment, luck, and opportunity in the next 28 days with Mars unlucky Elnath trining this part of the chart? Now, this doesn't come to you from a lottery. This is definitely the work environment, okay? Something to do with work or work structures connecting to financial prosperity and gain. All right. Mars likes to cut things off. So you could get a buy, what do you call it? Like an early retirement cut pension. You could get a buyout. Somebody could leave the office environment. You get their job, but something good is happening, increases your wealth. All right. Here I am, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant, and it's Jupiter. Oh, sorry, I got sidetracked into my own chart. Forget about Jupiter, we start with the moon. So Sun and Moon are anchoring the third house of siblings, short trips and travel, marketing, merchandising, and selling, online platforms, very busy Caden house. When you build a website, which I've been doing, building the Athenium website, that's all very third house activities. And so I'm an Aquarius rising. I do experience a lot of this new moon intensity, and the stellium of planets in my third house is very exhausting, frankly, right now. I'm going to tell you, it's been a tiring month so far. I mean, we got a pile up here, really. And now it's going to be that this new beginning, which could see super fruit bearing trees and lusciousness in the fall, September, October, Libra full moon season. But you can see that this is happening. It was at 22 degrees in a place. It's a very busy house to begin with. And now we got a lot of action here. Start looking for new ways and new beginnings, to ways you sell your services, the way you market yourself, the way you express yourself, what you write in the world. This house can be about writing and self-expression. A portal to something new, writing project is another example. With Mars in the house of the muse and inspiration and children and romance, sextiling this part of the chart. He's trying to help out, I got my daughter staying with me right now, and she's a real ally. She does a lot of my social media stuff for me, but I actually bounce off ideas from her. Like when I have a fiction idea, I say, what do you think of it? So your children can be very useful and helpful to you. Some of you Aquarius risings now, giving you some kind of inspiration or assistance if you need it, giving you a boost. Lucky star Elnath is there. Mars could be lucky in love, lucky romance, lucky in money. Money luck is a fifth house thing. So lucky money break is possible. And especially for speculative things like place a bet, buy a lottery ticket. And this Mars is in collaboration, right? Trying to support this part of the chart. And it's also Mars is trying to support Jupiter. And Jupiter and Mars are supporting each other. We could put it that way as well. And that trine is going to get stronger and stronger after this moon. And where Mars sits is in the house of self. A lot of you Aquariuses are going to find that the luck that you receive, the opportunity, the achievement and success is about you. It's all about you Aquarians. Mars is supporting from the fifth house of inspiration and the muse and children and money luck and romance. But the outpicturing, the focal point is the Jupiter spot, in a sense that Jupiter is like kind of anchoring a wedge, right? He's got the tip of a wedge. And that tension that's going on here between the goddess of domesticity, fidelity, loyalty, monogamy, and Mars wants to cut away and snip. And then Jupiter says, let me resolve the argument, dudes. It's all about you. It's all about you, Aquarius. Maybe the question would be, what do you really want? What do you truly desire? Where is your true, what's the true part here? Like Jupiter loves truth. Fidelity to truth is one of his things. Getting down with yourself, what's really true for you. And, Juno in the 11th house and Mars in opposition from the 5th, might be pulling you, because a lot of you Aquariuses are experiencing the North Node transit through your 5th house. It's a pull to move away from too much engagement with large groups of people. And I'm already having social media fatigue on Clubhouse, even though I was like rah, rah, rah last year in my 11th house 11th house perfection age. I'm feeling Clubhouse out. You know, guys, I get these notifications on Clubhouse that shows me people in rooms, and I go, some people have no life. There's this one guy, I'm not going to say who he is, kind of well known, married to a spiritual teacher female, and he's supposedly a guru of his own right. And he spends, like, I swear, 80% of his day on Clubhouse. So and so's in a room talking about that. So and so's in a room. My notifications are on, and I guess I have him on high follow mode. But I'm laughing. I mean, all of a sudden he's got de-estimized in my value structure of how authentic a spiritual awakening he's actually had, when he seems to be like a soap opera consumer level of, he does never ever get off the damn app. And he's getting high on his attention there because he's doing really well, and he's never been in a social media success anywhere else in the world. So suddenly it's all gone to his head, but it's really weird. Anyway, I doth digress. I am so toast with social media overload lately, so I've been hiding from it. So Juno, faithful to the social media world, and Mars says, snap, forget it. And then this new moon for us Aquarians, we're trying to support or trying to heal or ameliorate this energy. And of course, I'm doing this recording only a few days before the moon. Should have been done a few days ago, but I have no energy to do it. And, you know, here I'm doing it because the moon is trying to bring me back into this place again in a more harmonious, balanced way. So yay. I had blocked my calendar off, and here I am, because I thought I'd be traveling and busy, and a trip that got canceled because of COVID. So it's been an interesting 3 days anyway, low key, hardly any thing to do but meditate about what I want to do next. All right, so enough about me. And rest of you Aquarius is out there, in a nutshell, this is very lucky for money. This is lucky for love. This new moon could also bring a harmony and towards your creativity, your inspiration, your excitement around, you know, the muse and the artist in you, and away from what all your friends and the social media groups want you to do. And also you could find yourself really going deeply into a kind of self-inquiry about what's true for you. All right. Pisces, sun, moon, and ascendant. So what we have here is a huge amount of boost in your money corner, right? The second house is your finances, especially the thing you earn or the money you and resources you bring to you by the career or work you do in the world. So with this much pile up here anyway, you can see that there's a lot happening around the earnings corner of the chart, or pie slice of the chart. And that second house, right, is where this new beginning is. And you'll find maybe in the fall, September, October, a greater fruition, right, a greater fruiting of some of the new beginnings that start now when we move to full moon in Libra. Oh, I mean, sorry, full moon in Aries. Did I say Libra on the other ones? I mean, the full moon in Aries. when the sun is in Libra and the moon is in Aries. And if I said it weirdly ass backwards before, that's because, yeah, this is where I'm at, guys. I'm like delirious. Yeah, I think I said it the wrong way before. Just my brain is not firing on all cylinders for some reason. So you got a lot of money breaks going on. You can see that Jupiter is taking the light of Elnath and Mars and bringing a translation of goodness to your dreams at night. Nothing like Jupiter in the 12th house to have reverie, meditation, and powerful night dreams, or seek out a spiritual guide or teacher or mentor. When I say spiritual, it doesn't have to be a guru on a mountaintop. It could be a life coach. It could be, my sister's a Pisces rising. She's studying with a shaman for almost a year this year. So you know what I'm saying, you know, so you can modernize the word spiritual teacher any which way you like. But a lot of you Pisces are getting spiritually taught up or guided or helped this year. But pay attention, Pisces, sun, moon, and especially ascendant, to your dreams at night. Jupiter is known to bring the big dreams this year. And during this Mars, Elnath star shining its energy toward, and Jupiter towards each other in this trine, you could really accomplish something profound in those inner realms. And don't discount the inner realms, Pisces. You know, you can do shamanic work and you can reality engineer the world. You can do things in the deeper realms of reality. The dream time is the 12th house. As the Aboriginal Australians would say, what you see in your outer circumstances, you've already created. It's old news. Don't try to change your circumstances. That's the outpicturing of what you created. It's like trying to change something by tinkering with the film screen instead of the film coming out of the projector. So my advice to you is to go deep and trigger go deep within the inner realms to trigger external change during this new moon. Anything else? Yeah, well, there could be some tension with domestic goddess of monogamy and love in the 10th house, Mars in the fourth. It maybe fights with your spouse about how much time you're working, or your roommates don't like the fact that your office is, too noisy for them, your home office, or something's going on maybe with, certainly Mars's transit in the fourth house could be some chaos or discord with somebody you live with in the home, some verbal challenges especially, and there's that tension, but this moon is resolving that tension, okay? Especially if it's marital, this moon is trying to heal and patch it over and sweeten it up a little bit, okay? That's the wedge breaking the tension of the opposites here. All right, let's move on. Aries, sun, moon, and ascendant, you're going to have this energy happening for you in the house of you. It's all about you, which Aries, you get that, right? It's all about you. It is all about you. I have an Aries, sun, moon, and Mercury. I know the feeling. So we want to look at this for you, Aries, as somehow connected to a sense of opening a door to more of who you are, some new beginning, portal or refreshing on the screen of yourself, like you refresh the screen on an app, same idea, refresh the screen of you. And maybe there's some upgrades and some updates that come with the app refresh of who you are. So this is good for you to refresh for sure. And it is like resolving that tension, this refreshment between Juno and Mars in the house of siblings, short trips and travel, but also the very busy self-expression, writing, marketing, selling, websites, social media land, right? And I just express as an Aquarian, I've got a lot of energy there, but with Mars there as an Aries sun, I also feel that. So there's this Mars trying to cut, snip, and pare away. Mars loves to hard prune, guys. He's like the gardener with the massive gardening shears. He's going to take that rose bush down to the barest essentials, and it's going to thrive later because of it. So I want you to think of it that way. I don't want you to think about Mars as a bad guy. He's actually trying to cut away all that does not really serve the greater growth. So some of you are going to experience a cutting away of some of your activities in the very busy, get things done, sell, market, merchandise, social media land stuff. And trips as well. Like Mars got in here in my trip to my hometown driving, which is so Mars in the third, to see my sister's sibling, third house, was canceled because the small town that I came from went into a code red. And a code red is, I'm not going there. They got the variant and they're really locking down, and Montreal's not doing nearly as badly. So I'm sitting tight in Montreal. So there you go. There's an example. And for you Americans, and many of my clients are American, we don't have a full vaccine rollout by far here. We're way behind you guys. Okay, and we have COVID variant we're having variant breakouts. So we're the bad neighbor now instead of you guys. What else? Oh yes, that trine between Mars and Jupiter that's coming and getting stronger and stronger and stronger in the week and a half after this moon. Well, this gorgeous trine is going to offer up the light of Elnath, the lucky star, again in that third house of social media, web platforms, this, that, and the other thing. I am building a website for an Aries sun. So what are you doing? You're busy, cadent, marketing, merchandising, selling, learning, teaching, skills-based learning and teaching, maybe short trips and travel, part of your chart, and siblings that is going to translate to some opportunity. Mars is trining Jupiter in the area of groups of belonging and great financial gain from career and hopes, dreams, and wishes, and friends as allies and benefactors. So tell a story. Well, one story could be that you are going to find that a short trip opens up a doorway to a great financial gain. A sibling has a great tip for you that leads to entrance into a new community that serves you greatly. A hope, dream, or wish is about to come true because of something that happens, because you learn something skills-based or teach something, and it opens a door for you. So how you make stories from the sky, guys, that's an example. I will never get every story right for you. I mean, this is why learning astrology at my Athenaeum Academy of the Divinatory Arts will be fun if you want to learn how to read your own chart or that of your family. All right, stay tuned for more on that as I get ready to launch that in about hopefully 4 to 5 weeks. Next, let's move past that. We've moved on. Aries, let's go. Taurus, sun, moon, and ascendant. This is going to be a very deep inward process. This moon is happening in your 12th house of your dreams, your reverie, your meditation, past lives, the hidden realms. You don't really see this house from where you sit as an ascendant Taurian. So you're going to find that this is a very deep inward time, and that you're germinating seeds of things that will sprout and grow fully in the Aries full moon time frame, in Libra season, September, October. So I'd say really dive into your inner life and let your dreams tell you what you need to know. That's basically, I mean, there's a lot of activity in that inner world, because it's also getting rid of any self-undoing. If you have an addiction or a pattern or a habit that doesn't work for you, like alcohol or weed or smoking or anything like that, honestly, it can be very literal. This will be a moon that helps you let go of that. You'll like release that pattern cycle thing that you don't need anymore. Self-undoing habits and patterns and addictions can fall away in a new moon, a beginning of something new there. You can see that Mars is actually giving light of Elnath, bright and shiny, right? Supporting this moon with this tension being resolved between somebody that you may have argued with. Now, this is a money house where the Juno, fidelity, loyalty, monogamous, goddess of marriage, and wife of Zeus sits. So this may be tension with somebody or yourself around agreements, arrangements, and stuff around savings, money, loans, negotiations around finances, or your partner's money might be stressing your partner out. And maybe there's been agreements and disagreements around money between you and a beloved or a business partner. And that moon is going to sweeten the deal and soften it and resolve it and help bring a resolution to that. And I can also say here that Jupiter is receiving the light of this Elnath Mars as he goes into it. These guys go into an even more tighter trine over the next week and a half. And after this moon, and trines are good. And Jupiter loves opportunity, growth, expansion, success, accomplishment, mission success in the career house, reputation house. Some of you Tauruses are going to excel at something. If you're a student, that's your reputation, like great grades or something. But if you're working or you want to be working and say you're unemployed, even, it could open up a door of an employment opportunity for you, a job opportunity, a career opportunity for a lot of you Tauruses in, let's say, the last half of April, as this trine begins to perfect and as the light of Elnath kickstarts it at the beginning of this new seeding on this new moon. Yay. So Gemini, this kind of energy is in your 11th house of good spirit. And I think you guys are going to find a lot of luck going on in the next month. So this is like a lucky house. It can be financial gain, great financial gain, but usually from career, not from speculation, from the 10th house energies, what you're doing in the world. It can also be a constellating of your hopes, dreams, and wishes. Look at that stellium in that 11th house. Woo! It could really be a time of pioneering into new directions to actualize your hopes, dreams, and wishes with such a stellium in Aries. It could also end up being a lot of allies and friends and benefactors suddenly showing up, because that could be a cast of characters wanting to help, support, and move you along in a successful direction. It's like that Beatles song about friendship, which I can't remember now. Anyway. So Mars is duking it out with Juno. Some of you are having stress in your marriage, like you're discontent and arguing with your marriage partner. Some of you, it'll be your business partner, but there's definitely marital or business partner stress points going on. And then the beginning of resolution is the April 11th new moon that is attempting to resolve those differences for you and help you soften any discourse and discord that's been happening. Jupiter wants to offer you some 9th house blessings. Now, the 9th house is the house of God, right? It's like the heaven, right? Die in the 7th, go to the underworld in the 8th, and go to heaven in the 9th. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Some of you Geminis might have a spiritual breakthrough here. Jupiter could be a spiritual guide, a guru, a teacher, but some person that offers a doorway to something, an opening to your spiritual life. I'm losing charge on my laptop. Give me a minute. something like that anyway. Then some of you, so this is like kind of like a very divine, a spiritual, connect to God, connect to spiritual truth, higher philosophy house. Now, if you're at all involved in higher education, Jupiter going through the ninth house for a lot of you Geminis is going to be a great, great year for gains and success in higher education. But and that can be a professor taking you under their wing or giving you great favor during this transit, or some lucky breaks in the school setting. And if you're spiritually inclined and enlightenment or spiritual attainment is your gig, this is very auspicious as well, because this Jupiter placement, Mars is sending the trine from the house of your identity. Mars snips and cuts away. How about cutting away the self you thought you were to discover the truth of who you are? So there's a bit of a quality that could lead to spiritual breakthrough here as well. Just be careful, Gemini, sun, moon, and ascendants for injuries, right? Or inflammation to the body. Well, Mars is in your first house, especially your ascendants. This is a time where body harm is a possibility, especially with accidents and injuries, but sometimes inflammation and heat. So be very good to yourself during the rest of Mars's transit here in your first house. I think he's there till about the 20-something of April. All right, let's keep going. Let's move along. All right. Cancer, sun, moon, and ascendant. This is a big pile up, a new moon stellium in your 10th house of career, reputation, what you wish to succeed at, your known and recognizable efforts in the world by others and yourself. You can see that there's tension ongoing between colleagues, workmates, boss, employees, who knows. I mean, this is the environment in which Juno's sitting and Mars is throwing tension daggers over there, but it's hidden tension below the surface or passive aggressive stuff, Mars in the 12th. And the resolution of any of that tension is going to occur with this new moon. Now, Jupiter is blessing a money house for you, Cancer, sun, moon, and ascendants. A money house of treasure chests and bank loans and mortgages and paying off credit card debt and spousal money and inheritance money and speculative money from investments paying off. So a lot of energy here, goodness coming to you to this part where Jupiter sits in a trine from Mars. Now, Mars is in a hidden house. So money that you didn't know you had or financial goodness that was hidden from view may be made known to you in the fallout of this time of not just the new moon, but the 2 weeks that follow as that trine continues between Mars and Jupiter. And that's about it. All right, coming to the last 3 signs here. Leo, this is happening for you guys in your, I'm laughing at me, guys. Okay, Leos, I know you love to show off and you love your hair and you're so lovely and your bigness. And I'm wearing your Leo yellow today. Look at that. But I'm in the opposite space. I feel like I need to go into my hermit cave. So I'm laughing as I'm attempting to Leonize this moment for you. Woo! Okay. And I'm having a hot flash as well. And I can't get off my bed to fix it. So I'm almost inclined to get my daughter in here to open up my window. Maybe I'll do that. No, I won't. Okay, so she said no, she's not going to do it. She doesn't want to be on a YouTube video. Oh, okay. It's a little hot flash, no big deal. Leo, sun, moon, and ascendant, especially ascendant. This is happening for you guys in your 9th house of God, soul, truth, foreign lands, wisdom, book publishing, gurus, guides, higher education, all that jazz, dharma, your true purpose. A lot of you Leos may be focused on true purpose. I mean, that much of an action plan in the 9th house. You might go back to school, you might investigate going back to school and learning something. Some of you Leos might want to study again. You also may want to teach if you're inclined to be professorial and get up and teach people things. Wow, well, this is a time to start thinking about planting the seeds of that. But also, not many people are traveling to foreign lands, but this new moon still can play out as far as the full moon in Aries in the fall. So you might plant the seeds of a trip this fall to a foreign land. So the full moon in the Aries time in the fall, which is Libra season, that's when the sun is in Libra, right? And the moon's across the way, September, October, you could end up traveling, but you would plant seeds now. Now, the tension that goes on here between Juno, goddess of domesticity and partnership, and connection and all that, and commitment, she's duking it out with Mars, right? So this is tension in the house of sexuality, in the house of your children, in the house of your inspiration, the fifth, with Mars in the 11th, your house of friends and allies and the outer world and social circles. I don't know. There's so many stories you can tell there. You know your life best. Maybe your spouse isn't happy with the sex life that doesn't exist right now, and friends are pressuring you from the outside to do lots of things with them, and you don't have enough time for fun, play, pleasure, or friends, or a male friend maybe giving you a hard time about your children, about your inspiration, about your creativity, about your playfulness, Mars male friend poking at your fifth house. And this wedge will resolve that tension in the sky. This wedge that points at the new moon, the blue lines pointing at the new moon. It doesn't look like a new moon because I'm progressing the chart, but it was a new moon at 22 degrees. Perfect. Back in the day. And also the goodness of Jupiter in the seventh house of marriage and business partnership, clients, audience, and other, your seventh house, bodes well because Mars, who's sitting in that 11th house of fame and large groups of people and widespread social influence and friends as benefactors and hopes, dreams, and wishes, supports Mars in the seventh house of audience, client, other, and marriage. So a lot of you, if you're a Leo who's trying to make an impact, let's say in social media land, well, then you're suddenly going to have a really good breakthrough because or with your clients, for instance, Jupiter can outpicture in 2000, Leos, Jupiter can outpicture in 2021 where he's in your seventh house is a real good bonus points for your partner. Your marriage partner or your love partner could have a lot of success this year and feel good about their life because it really kind of collateral benefits to them. All right. A new job, expansion, growth, whatever. It's just a good year for your partner. All right. But it's also a good year for your marriage. So keep that in mind, as well as business partnerships. Mercury, Virgo, sun, moon, and ascendant, especially ascendant. You Virgos are having this new moon pile up in your eighth house, and you can't tell, but it really is your eighth house. The moon is supposed to be over here. I'm just progressing the chart. So your eighth house is the house of your, well, first of all, it's the house of psychology. So it's your inner world, sometimes your unconscious mind. It's a house of rebirth, like kind of like going to the underworld and coming back out the other side. There's a deep rebirth here. A deep rebirth at a deep psychological and psycho-spiritual level is possible as this new moon comes into form and plants seeds for a really great fruition from this rebirth that happens, right? So by the time we get to the fall, you feel the full fruit of it in the full moon in Aries. Now, these many planets in the eighth house can positively impact your finances, a new beginning in your finances for you Virgos, especially when it comes to things like tax rebates, bank loans, credit card payment debts relieved, inheritances, spousal money improving. It's just a really sweet spot for your money, and it's a beginning here. It's a new portal here. All right. So, and it's not just any old portal because it's a stellium of planets, and Venus, the goddess of money, is there, which she does not there every time you have a new moon in your eighth house. And so we got beneficence here, luck, Venus, a female that helps support your finances, or a female loan brokerage or person, or money, just good luck. She's a goddess of money in a money place and a new beginning with your money. Now, Mars is in tension to Juno. So you might have had some domestic tension. This is like you and your marriage partner or roommate are not in the home, are having some discord, some friction, some tension. And now it's going to come to a kind of sweetness and a resolution in some way, beginning on the moon onward, on the 11th of April onward. As well, Jupiter is offering you some offers in your health house, improving your health and health routines and health protocols. You're getting better. You're getting healthier. Jupiter's going to support that anyway, all through 2021. You and your health are on the rise. But on top of that, Virgo, you and your work protocols, and Jupiter could be learning something that you need to learn in order to do some work you need to do, or it could just be opportunity expansion in work and work protocols, or a job, getting a job offer, especially with Mars in the 10th house of career and, action in the world, praxis out there, 10th house, what do people see you doing? So there's something good coming April 11th, at a couple of weeks, as this trine gets tighter and tighter, where you're going to have some opportunity for success when it comes not only your health, but perhaps a work opportunity. Maybe you're going to apply for a job and get a job. Yay for you. Okay, so, or if it's not a job, then it's just advancement in your career, promotion, a real sweet spot, real sweet spot in your working career. The last but not least of today's roundup, Libra, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. So it's really anchoring a lot of energy, a stellium new moon in your 7th house of business partnerships, love, marriage partnerships, clients, audience, other. If you're inclined towards other, as in you have clients you serve, or audiences you need to reach, this is very auspicious. And what you begin now will be seeded now, that really begins to move into fullness in the fall, particularly during the Aries full moon in September, October timeframe, Libra season. And your season, and what else is going on is that Mars is opposing Juno. So that Mars Juno opposition, I talked about it for everyone else. For you guys, it's in the 9th house of higher education, foreign lands, and dharma and purpose and teaching, especially if you're teaching people, and tension with Juno in the bottom in the 3rd house. Now, they're both a teaching axis, So we teach like skills and abilities in our 3rd house energies, and we learn them. And the 9th house is kind of like higher education and longer term courses of study. So there's some tension going on there. I'm not sure what to make of that, what story to tell. Juno wants commitment, focus, discipline, monogamy, fidelity, and it's in a house of teaching or siblings. And then there's tension from the 9th house. 9th house can also be foreign lands and travel. So tension between wanting to get out of Dodge and go to a foreign land versus having to stay domestic and do a bunch of stuff back and forth in small little measly trips back and forth in a domestic front, or tension between two types of learning and teaching that are pulling and pushing you. Anyway, this comes to its sweet spot of resolution during the moon. On the 11th. So a resolution begins to be available for that tension. Now, Mars is sweetly trining Jupiter, as we've talked about, and Jupiter offers you blessings and opportunity in sexuality, in money luck, in romance, in inspiration, in hearing your muse, in fun, play, and pleasure. Get that inner child going. It's supposed to be a fun year. Libra, you're supposed to have fun this year. Jupiter in your 5th house. If you're a young person who's fertile and can have children, whether you're a man or a woman, doesn't matter. You or your partner could get pregnant. So be cautious. Jupiter is a sperminator. And I swear anybody having a transit of Jupiter in their 5th house is at risk of pregnancy, whether they want a baby or not. So watch out for that. But if you're not at that age, then Jupiter is just going to bring a lot of pleasure and joy and fun and expansion of those things to your 5th house, as well as, renewed creativity and zest for life. Joie de vivre on the rise. And this is a success energy. And so Mars is saying, with lucky Elnath, let's bring you even more success in that area, especially in the 2 weeks that follow this moon. You could have a romantic startup, especially if you're heterosexual. Mars can be the male lover. So there's that. And or the masculine lover. It doesn't have to be heterosexual, but the masculine lover. And also I would say that, opportunity is Jupiter's key word. Mars is travel, and that could be an opportunity to take a joyful, playful, pleasurable trip to a foreign land. That's one of the codes what that could offer you in the fallout from this moon. So take the moon and add 28 days and see if you don't get a lucky break for a long distance travel or a trip to a foreign land or something like that. All right. Thank you all for hanging in there for all signs. And check out my description box below, where you can get my All Signs 2021 free download. Please share with friends and family. I'm giving it away All you do when you sign up to get it is put your email address into the box, and then you get the access to all 12 videos, 60 minutes long each. I mean, that's a steal, guys. Oh, I got a sunburn today. And you get a upsell option to learn all about perfections. It's a beautiful course, a 90-minute teaching video, a 60-minute teaching video, the 2 separate classes I taught, bundled with some PDFs and documents and the divine timing cheat sheet. Honestly, I think the upsell was $7 or $9. I can't remember what I did, but it's so damn cheap. So if you want to learn how to learn about how your own cycle, like I'm going into my 12th house perfection hermity year. I already cussed over. I'm 59. My birthday was April the 4th. And now I'm like leaning toward wanting alone time. I want to be my own inner hermit. You're in my bedroom. Yes, I think I told you that. This is the door to my apartment's balcony on the front end of my 1870s building. Those are my tarot cards in a little thing. This is my altar to Venus that I created for a Venus magic altar when she was Kazemi the sun. I always put fresh flowers there because Venus is very picky. And if my flowers die, and by the way, I won 2 lottery tickets. There's 2 scratch and win winners there that I bought since I created that altar. I bought 2 tickets and I won both. And one's $100, and $10 became 100. I think $3 became 10. So I'm on a roll. Wish me luck on that. Okay. Ciao, ciao. And thanks for listening, guys. Please like, please subscribe, please share. You know the drill. We content creators here, we put a lot of effort into content creation, I have to say. And so just know, I mean, when you do comment, when you do like, when you do subscribe, when you do share, it helps the algorithm. It's a very impersonal thing, the algorithm. If I was to email all of my 3,000 clients on my email list or people and say, everybody go to this one video and I'll like pay you $10 and like, subscribe, talk, comment, whatever, etc. I could change the algorithm code, right? You can game it. I don't have the patience to game it. So just like and subscribe and share. And if you don't like it, don't freaking give me a thumbs down. Why bother? Go somewhere else. Bye. Yeah, I'm sounding a little jaded. Bye-bye.